And we're coming.
Live.
We're going live for 95. Microphone check 1 2. What is this?
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Dead End Sports, the place where sports opinions collide. I'm the host 12, Kyle. I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every Tuesday night. A lot of stuff to talk about. We want to thank you again for checking us out. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to our podcast. You can watch us live right here on our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/Dead End Sports. Hit the little subscribe button and be privy to all of our videos, especially our live videos. As I mentioned, we broadcast live each and every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to apologize initially for getting a little late start here, but we're definitely going to bring it to you hot and heavy like we do each and every week. Of course, I will not be doing this show alone tonight. Be joined by the boys, my partners in crime, my man Beezy 430. Beezy, what up, though?
What up, though? What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's crack-a-lacking?
Hey, man, the temperature's starting to cool down, man. We need to get on that golf course for real.
Hey, look, you saw I got the balls. We got extra balls.
Right.
We good, man. We gonna have extra balls. We gonna have everything. We straight.
Yeah, we definitely need to get back out there, man. Especially as it gets cooler too.
Your dad enjoyed his birthday?
Yeah, man, he had a good time, man. He told me to tell everybody thanks and everything, and he enjoyed the birthday. We called him. My daughter called him last night and sang happy birthday to him, and man, he was in heaven.
Man,
he was happy. So, but yeah, shout out to everybody who said what's up to my dad and wished him a happy. He turned 70 yesterday. I told him, I said, man, you getting old? He said, hey, I'm just getting better. So I said, hey, nothing wrong with that. Beats the alternative.
Yes.
So so tonight we're going to be talking about our stuff. B is here. Kim will be joining us soon. FIFO, as usual, as we say every week, is on the way. So shout out to everybody. If you haven't done so already, you can also jump into our interactive chat room on youtube.com/Dead End Sports. Man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Cam Newton is in the news. We got Olympic talk. Team USA in trouble. A lot of stuff we got. What else we got tonight? We got, like I mentioned, Cam Newton. We have the Olympic talk, Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, the Shaunae Miller dive, if you will, Carmelo Anthony. And then at the end of the show, as we've been doing the last couple of weeks, one got to go. I got a special one got to go tonight for you guys that will surely stump most of you, or at least spark a debate. So as I mentioned, tonight we're going to kick it off. Let's start right there with the Olympics, man. Olympics are hot and heavy. Obviously, it's been going on. We're a week into the Olympics in Rio 2016. There was a lot of talk coming into the Olympics about what may happen or what may not happen. There was, fears of the Zika virus, fears
folks
of
getting robbed at gunpoint.
Folks getting robbed. Let's start right there, man. I mean, now I'm not sure if you guys heard this, but the police in Rio have not been paid, and they told people, like, look, if you come here, we can't protect you because all of the police aren't necessarily working. So, man, we can start right there, man. What did you think about that crazy story about the swimmer Ryan Lockley getting jacked?
Yeah, man. Like, I heard Rio's about that life. I heard like people are literally can be out in the street and like literally rob you like in front of people. Like you can just be walking up down the street at the strip or something like that, and people will really come up and try to like snatch stuff out your pocket or snatch what's in your hand and run, or either have a low key gun and kind of point it towards your back and like tell you to come up out your stuff because they know Rio is like a touristy type of area, so they looking for us out of towners, man. They looking for them. So I think Ryan Lochte and I think it was a couple of other guys that was on some team. They didn't give the names of the other guys, but I know Ryan Lochte was one of them. But yeah, man, like they spotted him and they was like, got him. They was like, let's get him. And one thing I was reading too, how Ryan was saying, you know, when the guy was saying, because they had like fake police badges or whatever. They all had like police uniform, I guess, opposing like police officers, telling them to get on the ground. So Ryan didn't even get on the ground. He just like had his hands up and was like, I'm not getting on the ground. So the dude, he's lucky the guy didn't blow his brains out. He put a gun to his forehead, and that's when Ryan finally got on the ground. But like, what you doing, like resisting when them dudes is nuts? They are lucky that they didn't shoot them on point, because they crazy. They off the chain out there in Rio, man. Like it's nuts. I mean, yeah, you might look at the beaches and stuff like that, and
right.
That may look beautiful and stuff, the vacation, but do not go to Rio, man. They are off the chain there. They off the chain.
Man, you said it best, man. They're about their life for real.
Yes.
And that's the thing, like, that I keep hearing about Rio, man. Like, they were, now Ryan Lockley and his other fellow swimmers, they got robbed after, I guess they were leaving a party or some club or something like that. But like, there are people, and there's video. I mean, you can go on YouTube and watch. There's video of people getting robbed in broad daylight. You know, like, so you really don't care if you're gonna jack somebody in broad daylight, and you know, like, they're jacking people in, like, what you gonna do? Call the police? Who are they? Said they're not gonna help you. I mean, so it's bugged out.
I heard the police is crooked over there anyway.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So it's crazy. So if you're in Rio or have any plans to go to Rio, you know, like Wu-Tang said, man, protect your neck, because it's real in the field. Now, Ryan Lochte, like you said, B, I think he lucked out. He was, you know, according to him, the fake cops or whatever ordered them on the ground, and he didn't want to get on the ground. And then the guy pulled out the steel and put it to his head. It's like, yo, you better run this money right here. So then he finally got on the ground. But, you know, it just got me to thinking, man, like, and I'm not trying to be funny. I don't want anybody to get robbed, but, you know, if you're getting robbed, then you should just get robbed. Just, you know, you don't want to agitate somebody, because in the United States, in certain parts of the United States, in certain cities in the United States, you're gonna get pistol whipped. You know, that you don't talk back to somebody who's got a gun. So, you know, like you said, man, it's crazy in Rio, and these are some of the things. And you know, it was I think they were like the second. There was somebody else, some other athlete that got robbed too. Some guy. Oh, I heard about. Did you hear about the judo champion? B, they got robbed.
No.
Yeah, the judo champion got robbed. I want to say last night. He won the bronze. It's funny, but it's not funny. The judo champion who won the bronze medal got robbed of his cash, but they didn't take his medal. So my thing is, like, if you're the judo champion, they beat him up, took his money, and he had like a black eye or whatever. I mean, if you're the judo champion, shouldn't, like, you know, I mean, provided, let's just say that they didn't have guns. I mean, are you really the judo champion? You supposed to be getting your ass kicked? You know what I mean? Like, something like that just don't add up. But yeah. So there's been a couple of instances of people getting robbed. I think some of the biggest fears were, you know, coming into the Olympics was the Zika virus. We haven't heard much about that. We've heard about the water being green in the pool and stuff like that, and infested and stuff. But you know, nobody's turned up sick just yet. So yeah, we're gonna talk
about being robbed more than the damn water.
Right. So we're definitely gonna talk about that. Let's see here. Is FIFO on? I thought I saw him jump on. Maybe didn't get back on. But
yeah, I'm here. Good.
FIFO, what's going on, man?
Chilling, bro. Making this money out here, man.
Hey, get that money, man. Get that
slinging
money.
These phones out here. And anybody need Verizon wireless service, come holler at your boy.
Oh man. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah. So let's start right there, man. The Olympics. As far as what we've seen thus far, like I said, we're a week into the Olympics. What's been your biggest surprise in the Olympics thus far?
FIFO.
No, I'm saying
B.
B. My bad.
Oh, I thought you said FIFO. I thought my bad.
He thought you went to sleep.
You said what was my biggest surprise?
Yeah, biggest surprise thus far.
My man, I can't think of his name. The African guy that beat that broke Michael Johnson's 400-meter record.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, like and so
Lane 8, bruh. How you beat a world record in lane
lane
8?
8. Yeah, that's the furthest
Never
lane.
seen that before in my life.
Yeah, right. If people you don't understand when you run track, yeah, lane 8, the further out that's like a longer distance. So you pretty much got to work twice as hard. So he did it in a tough lane. So and I didn't even realize how long that record was. Sometimes you forget, like, damn, that was that long ago. It's like, how you forget, like, damn, I didn't know that record was held that long ago. But yeah, that was probably one of the biggest surprises. Of course, Simone running not Biles, but the swimmer, the freestyle, the girl that
Simone Manuel.
Yeah, from Simone Manuel, that was definitely a surprise because before that race, going into that race, all the announcers was talking about was two sisters that was from, I don't know, they was from Australia, from Sweden, I think. They was talking about them. Oh, how they gonna dominate and get the gold and silver? Which sister's gonna win what? And then it was supposed to be like some other rival about some other girl that was going on with the China chick that was juicing. So like everyone was talking about all that, and then here comes Simone just up here getting the damn gold medal, and the announcer was like, "Well, what about that?" Like it was funny what the announcer said when she won it. Like he was like, "Well, what about that?" Like I thought that was really cool. That was definitely a surprise to see a black woman. I think this is from what I can remember my first time ever seeing a black, whether it's a male or a female athlete, win a swimming event. So that was pretty cool to witness. But yeah, I think the Michael Johnson record being broken and Simone winning the gold medal in the freestyle.
What about you, FIFO? Biggest surprises thus far from the Olympics?
Bro, how the hell are we losing to all of these teams, especially France, without Tony Parker by 3? Like that right there.
We gonna get into that in just a second.
Yeah, that's my biggest surprise though. Because look, man, I live, breathe, die basketball, so I understand the little idiosyncrasies that comes with the sport. I understand chemistry, I understand camaraderie and all of that, and I understand that the world has that advantage on us, is that camaraderie and also that chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Because literally we throw a team together every 4 years, and because we have the talent, we go out there and dominate. But this year, man, it just looks a little different, and I want to blame. Because, whenever something don't happen the way it's supposed to happen, you got to blame somebody.
Right.
I want to blame KD. Because,
why you blaming KD, man?
I'm blaming KD, man, because when you are the best basketball player on the squad, right, you are supposed to take control of what's happening. And did y'all see the comments that he had regarding the USA team and not winning by a lot all these games?
No, what did he say?
He was saying that this year is going to be a little bit different. You got to grind it out. And I saw a couple of commentators talking about it, and especially Max Kellerman, and I agree with him. For some reason, when you look at LeBron, you look at Kobe on these Olympic teams and things like that, even all-star teams, they hold every player accountable and they elevate everybody else to play at an elevated level. And for some reason, KD seems like he can't do that. To me, that's something of legend. The legends in basketball are able to do that regardless of the game. It doesn't matter if it's an all-star game, doesn't matter if it's game 7, doesn't matter if it's the first game of preseason. These guys just hold everybody else at a higher standard, and everybody performs. You know what I'm saying? They know how to push buttons. And it seems like KD doesn't know how to do that. So I almost have to question, is he a legend? Which he should be, because his talent and everything poses that he should be. But I think this is the prime example. When, like, you can't tell me that these guys would be by only winning by 3 if LeBron was on that squad, because it hasn't happened. Except for that first time when Carmelo and LeBron just didn't get playing time because Larry Brown don't like playing rookies like that.
Yeah, that was Larry
But
Brown's
ever
fault.
since that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not blaming all on KD, but he's the leader of this squad. He is the best player on this squad. So that means it's his responsibility to make sure everybody is on the same page. And if you got to do it by yourself, for a 5-minute stretch or a whole game, guess what? That burden is on you. So I am surprised that, and like, look, man, against certain teams, I don't expect a blowout. Against certain teams, I get it. The world has caught up. But, bruh, a Tony Parker less France, you only win by 3? Oh man, no
Right.
man, no man, no man. That is surprise. I didn't see that happening at all, at all.
No doubt, no doubt. We're definitely going to get into some. In fact, that's probably where we're going next with the basketball talk. Ken, what about you? Biggest surprises thus far from the games in Rio?
Oh man, here you go. Damn microphone again.
Ken, we can't hear you.
Whoa.
Adjust your microphone, man, and do something with it. Every time when you
Hear me?
There we
okay,
go.
I just heard you just did.
What about now?
Yeah, you good. You good now. You good.
Perfect.
You good.
Okay.
Turn my headphones up. Turn them up.
Yeah, am I still good?
Yeah, you good. You good.
All right, cool. So I don't know why I'm not switching though. Why it hasn't switched to me?
No, you good. Talk. I mean, I can see you. Shit.
Okay,
Yeah, we
okay.
can see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We see you. We see you in shirt and tie, man.
Yeah.
yeah. So check it, right? So I haven't really been watching any of the Olympics. I just follow like the big stories when they're reported afterwards. I did watch a few races. I want to say Friday night. Me and the family were sitting around watching some of them, like the Bowie.
Yes.
What's her name? She's from Mississippi though, so I definitely rooted for her.
Sprint.
And then there was somebody that raced afterwards that won by like 0.7 points or something like that. And I can never tell who won because everybody that I think lost actually ended up winning because of the angles. But they were exciting and I almost got caught up in them. But there was somebody else that got off to a bad start. But yeah, so those are the ones that I watched. Phelps and Simone, I think B may have mentioned that earlier. Those are impressive, and I'm loving seeing those type of stories come out from the Olympics. But I got to tell, well, I know we're going to talk about it, so I won't get into it now. But I think, man, that's really all I got, man. Like, I think the amount of African American pride that I'm seeing, mainly on Twitter and different sites like that, is good to see. At times, I'm seeing some unfair criticism when people talking about old girl that didn't smile or laugh or something like that when some award was being given. I'm seeing, people making much ado about nothing, at certain instances in the African American community about certain things. I'm seeing them praise and I'm seeing sometimes a little bit too much, but it is what it is. I think all of that surrounding it is cool, but sometimes unnecessary. But overall, man, I'm just not a real big Olympics guy. Like I said, last time, call me un-American, call me what you want. America, I mean, I'm doing okay now, but America hasn't always been great to us. So I gotta kind of warm up, man. But it's always good to have pride, in where you stay at, where you live at, for them to go out and represent. Because at the end of the day, I'm all about competition, man. If we can go over there and come back with the most medals, then it's great to always say, hey, we did that. But that's it. Those are 4-year bragging rights. But salute to everybody over there, man, putting in the work, winning the medals. Even if you don't win, man, just the sacrifice, the training, everything that you've had to do just to do it is incredible, man. And you deserve to be, celebrated. I may not watch, but I'm not going to shit, excuse the French, on what you're trying to accomplish or what you did accomplish, because I think that's to be, admired and marveled. And even when the chicks were running and I called my son and I was like, yo, look at this. and look at what they're doing, and look at them running, and look at them putting forth the effort. Look how hard they're running to win, and trying to just take something from that and use that as a life lesson for him. So, and then it just kind of also felt a little good just sitting around as a family just watching it for the brief moment that we did before I hit the shower because I had to go for a shoot the next day. But that's it. Outside of that, man, any of the big storylines that we're going to talk about, I haven't really followed much more than what we're going to talk about.
Okay. I think, and you hit some key points. I think for me, like B said, the biggest surprise is the kid, running the 400 from lane 8. I mean, like lane 8, and somebody mentioned in the chat room, lane 8 is the death lane. And he said he basically, because if you know anything about track, you're in lane 8. There's nobody in front of you. So he's running, and he said, I just ran as fast as I could. He said, I didn't know who was close to me, if anybody was near me. And what's interesting is he's from South Africa, and his mother, she was also an athlete as well, but she came up under the time where South Africa was under apartheid. So, she couldn't compete like he is. And, she basically didn't have as many rights as a black woman or an African woman in South Africa as he did. And so it was refreshing to see him, and his grandmother was like his trainer or something like that, and she's like black and white, I think. And that was really a very interesting and compelling story. And for him to go out, like you said, be Michael Johnson's record, he broke the record. He set the record here in Atlanta at the '96 Olympics, which was 20 years ago. It was one of the 400 record is one of those records that you just think is going to stand. And we all remember how dominant Michael Johnson was at the time. So, I mean, for that guy to do it and to do it from lane 8, it was mind-boggling. Obviously, what Simone Biles has done was very impressive. I was very impressed with Simone Manuel. I actually, the first time I saw Simone Manuel swim was in her preliminary heat. And to be honest, she didn't do that well. I mean, I'm not going to say she didn't do well, but the announcers kind of commented and said, this isn't a fast time. And I don't know if she was holding something back, but, her preliminary, and I was like, much like you guys, when I saw, I was like, oh, man, this is dope. See a black woman, because I've never seen a black woman in competitive swimming. And, one thing about the Olympics, and Ken kind of alluded to it, the Olympics have a lot of events that, we only pay it. I mean, for the most part, most of us only pay attention to for every 4 years. I mean, how much, for as dope as Michael Phelps is, and we're going to talk about him in a little bit, for as dope as he is, I mean, how many times have we seen Michael Phelps swim since the last Olympics? Like me, I haven't, because I'm not into competitive swimming. But I watched her, and I said, okay, man, this is dope seeing a sister in the pool. And like I said, she wasn't, at least by the announcers' accord, she wasn't impressive in her initial heat. But to see her win that record and see her, and when she hit the wall, she didn't know that she'd won. And she looks up at the score, and she looks up and she realized she won. That look on her face was priceless. So yeah, those are probably the biggest surprises for me. The kid running the 400 from South Africa, and what Simone Manuel did, and Simone Biles, obviously, as far as gymnastics go. FIFO touched on it, and I want to go ahead and jump to it right now. We're going to go back to Michael Phelps and Usain Bolt because they're great within their own right. But Team USA, man, struggling, if you will. Had a couple of games that they only eked out. Ken, I'll start first with you, man. Why are we struggling? We're the big bad USA. We have, the best players in the world. Well, we don't have LeBron. We don't have Steph Curry. We don't have, some of the other players. But why are we struggling? Why is Team USA under Coach K? Why are we struggling? We haven't struggled like this against other international teams.
Well, I think, I wanted to jump in when FIFO was talking about KD and blaming KD for the struggles and saying that as the best player on the team, he should take over. Yeah, that would be nice, but we also talking about a guy who just left OKC to go play with other, A-list athletes.
Don't go there, Ken.
Why not?
Don't make that your point, dog. Don't make that your point.
I'm just saying, FIFO, you can't blame him when he's already running from OKC to go make life easier for him. So you expect them to go out there and lead like that? You know
Why
what type
not?
of person KD is.
Of course,
Because that's not who he is.
But you know what? In certain instances, you should rise to the occasion, especially when you're that nice.
Why
Be
would
knows,
he
man.
do that if he's surrounded by other great players? He could also feel that he doesn't have to do that.
But he has the highest scoring average in NBA history behind Wilt and Michael Jordan. Third highest. So what does that mean,
nice.
bro? All right, Ken, I'll let you go.
No, I'm just saying, though, but I understand your point, but understand what I'm saying. He's surrounded by other people that, in his eyes, may be of the same caliber as him. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like the same situation he had in OKC, where there was Russell Westbrook. So he can be passive. He's not that overly aggressive guy. He's really LeBron, if you really think about it. That killer edge.
Passive aggressive like LeBron?
Yeah, that we thought he had.
Okay.
No longer really, I think it's there, but I don't think it's really there, which sounds weird. But anyway, so I think that's unfair to say, hey, you're the problem. I don't know what the problem is, to be quite honest with you, because I'm startled by the struggles of the USA team. They should be destroying people. So the only thing I can think about is maybe international players are caught up. We damn sure drafted the hell out of them whenever they enter the draft. So maybe there's something to that, and maybe that should be, looked at. But to FIFO's point, they're playing against a team that don't have Tony Parker. So how is that possible? Or maybe they're taking this stuff too light. This generation, I'm sorry they sound old, man. Y'all, sometimes y'all take it for granted, man. So y'all take this shit for granted, man. Yeah, we just gonna go over here. We just gonna do blah, 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 blah. Instead of going in there with the purpose and the will and the desire to dominate. I'm not saying that's them, but right now it's not looking like it. The USA team, the dream team, wanted to leave no doubt that they were the best. And if I'm the USA team, forget the competition. You should be trying. That's the ghost. If we're talking about ghost right now, if I could bring the ghost up, you should be trying to chase the ghost of the dream team, because you guys have players that could very well, if you really look at it, like, you know what? There could be an argument made based on some of the talent that's on this team if you put them side by side. So why they're struggling, I don't know, man. And I think that one close game may have gotten them shook. But they need to get it together and figure it out, because, you're playing for something bigger than, I know Carmelo playing for his championship. So he was playing for it the other day. He put up, 31? He was like, this is all the gold I'm going to get, baby.
Hey, look. First off, I watched First Take today, and Stephen A. kind of cleared it up. That quote was taken out of context. So I
what was the quote? Because I missed it, but I saw
he basically said, well, and FIFO's right. I think they took it out of context. They tried to make it sound. Yeah, we are.
Okay, well, then disregard. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. B, what about you, man? What is your take on what's wrong with USA basketball, Team USA?
Oh man. Because when this was going on, I was like, okay, first I was thinking, since the Dream Team has international basketball stepped up, which in some sense I think so, but the 08 squad was blowing teams out. Even I think the 2012 squad was kind of blowing folks out too. So I don't know what it is about this squad is this almost, are we, I'm not going to say repeat of 2004, but are we kind of looking at a similar type of, I guess, makeup of the 2004 squad as far as like who's going to be a leader, who's taking that the grabbing that bull by the horn and saying, let's go out here and let's blow out these dudes by 20, 30 points or whatever. Let's have that mindset like we are the best. Or is the international players really gotten that better? But to also the FIFO's point, you only win by 3 points to a French team that don't have Tony Parker. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are they really that good? Some of these squads don't look like where I'm like, ooh, I can see why USA is having a problem with them. It's like,
Right.
looking at these games, I'm like, USA should be blowing these dudes out. Like, why are they letting these teams stick around? They not the way they switching on defense is not good. I mean, these guys should not be taking wide open shots like this. That's like unheard of in previous. I mean, even in the '96 and 2000 USA team, it was like they was out there. They was making sure these dudes did not score. If they came across half court, they was pressuring them, taking the ball, everything. It's like, where is that intensity from this USA squad? It's like they just kind of, like, I think Ken said, like, they just out there just to be just out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where is the intensity at, man? I don't see intensity at all unless it gets down to, like, the last 5 minutes in the game is close or something like that. Then they want to turn it up. But, like, from that, as soon as the ball tip off, USA should be having a foot on their throats, man. Like, seriously. Like, I don't see that with this particular team. And they can do it because they got the talent. Now, granted, you don't have all the superstars in the league playing. Like you said, LeBron, Stephen Curry, a lot of them guys didn't want to play because I understand that. LeBron's been playing in 6 straight finals. He's been playing from October to June pretty much for the last 6 years, so I can see why he's tired. And then plus, Stephen Curry nursing a little injury or whatever. So, I get it. But still, with that talent around, DeMarcus Cousins and Durant and Melo and them, y'all, they gotta go, and Kyrie Irving, y'all gotta go out there and y'all gotta take it to him, man. And I feel like it's not enough defensive minded guys that's on this USA team. Like, if you look at previous USA teams, you have some guys that were that was all about that defense as well. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're offensively gifted, but you saw some guys that was committed on the defensive end. With this squad, I don't see guys that's really committed on the defensive end on the ball. Because, like I'm saying, I know you guys are watching it, and I'm watching it. It's a lot of wide open shots that these guys.
A lot of shots.
They should not have been taken. Like, you think Jordan and would a lot of these dudes be wide open shots? Scottie Pippen and them? Heck no. You know what I'm saying? When LeBron and Kobe and them was playing together, they was not allowing these guys to take, all those wide open threes. And the 3-point line is shorter in the international play too. So yeah, man, like, I just don't see the intensity from this particular USA team. If they don't turn it up, because these teams are coming. They like, what? They looking at USA and they seeing them barely getting past these games. They're like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe we do got a shot. The team, they probably played somebody before that they probably beat by 5. They probably gonna be like, you know what? We gonna get these dudes. Let's get them, because let me tell you, when those previous USA squads was blowing teams out by 30, the game was already over by, like, teams knew you didn't have a chance against the Dream Team, because soon as the Dream Team come out, they were blowing you out. As soon as that '08 squad come out, they was blowing you out. This squad, they just got to get that intensity up, man, because we're going to mess around. It's going to be another 2004, and they're going to be standing there getting a bronze medal looking stupid. So they better kick it up a notch.
What about you, FIFA? What do you think is wrong with Team U? I know you touched on it a little bit as far as, like, your surprise, but what do you think? Is it X's and O's? Could it be possibly Coach K?
Nah.
What do you think is wrong with Team USA?
I don't think it's Coach K, man. Coach K has a phenomenal coaching staff, and he only has one loss in going into 3 Olympics now. So I don't think it's Coach K. Coach K knows what the hell he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what he's doing. I think the main problem is the fact that they don't have true leadership, and that's what I was kind of hinting at with Durant. When you are that great, some of your leadership and everybody knows. You can go back. Run the tape. I've been said it. We can't let Durant off the hook. We have to hold him to the same fire that we hold some of the other greatest players in this game too. Part of that is leadership and taking ownership. You know what I'm saying? And some of those other previous squads had the likes of a CP3 that can be a leader offensively and defensively. When I look at this squad, they have too many of the same type of guy. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to IQ, when it comes to offense and when it comes to defense. Kyle Lowry and Kyrie Irving are relatively the same point guard. Obviously, Kyrie's better, but they're the same guy. Suspect on defense, gonna go get you buckets, likes to shoot the three and hold the rock and pound it and dribble. When you look at a KD and Paul George, relatively the same guy. When you look at DeMarcus and DeAndre, different, but they dominate in the same way. Obviously, DeMarcus is way better offensively. You could get him the rock. He's going to get you buckets. But both of those guys are tenacious defensively and get rebounds. They can guard the rim, obviously in different ways, but they both do it efficiently. To me, what I see is nobody taking that ownership, nobody taking that leadership saying, yo, guys, follow me. This is how we get it done. Now, Carmelo is kind of doing that, but we always had to question Carmelo's leadership when it comes to that, because look at how far he's gone in his NBA career. You know what I'm saying? Like how far he's gone to one conference finals. You know what I'm saying? One conference finals. So to me, it's not a lack of skill. It's not like when we look at Carmelo. Tell me a weakness offensively of Carmelo Anthony. I'll wait for it, because I still think he's the best overall scorer in the NBA. He scores down low, mid range.
Oh yeah, we talk about that all the time.
All the time.
I've always said that. I always felt that Melo was the best scorer, like the best pure scorer in the league. Like
in the league. Exactly. So it's not a lack of talent. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a lack of leadership. And when I watch this squad play, I see that. Like, because Kyrie's not a pure point guard. But when you play on a squad like this that you don't necessarily need scoring, what else can he bring? He's not a set-up point guard. Oh, just give me the rock. I'm going to make two moves, boom, boom, no-look pass, and we're going to get easy buckets all day. That's why CP fits so well in this type of game. That's the reason why John Stockton and Magic Johnson fit so well on the Dream Team, because they're not out here looking to score. They could score if you try me, but I'm looking to get 10, 12, 15 assists, bro. If I don't score no points and we win, I don't care. They don't have a point guard like that. They don't. I don't know, man. I just think it's a lack of leadership, and not in a sense that these guys are whack or they don't know what it takes to win, but a sense of urgency on the court, a sense of calm, a sense of poise, a sense of taking over the game without having to put the ball through the basket type of leadership, offensively and defensively. I think that is primarily what's lacking on this squad.
I think you touched on some great points. I think just to piggyback on, and you got me to thinking about two positions, the point guard position and the center position. Obviously, at the center position, you have DeAndre Jordan, who is, shot blocker, really can't shoot free throws that well. And then you got Boogie Cousins playing center too. I saw at one point on the game on Sunday, and I can't remember, I think they were playing France, where they threw Draymond in at center. And, man, they just decided, they said, you know what? Oh, we got a mouse in the paint. And they proceeded to throw the ball in the paint and punish Draymond couldn't do nothing with the centers. They scored like 10 straight points on him. And then Coach K had to they was like, okay, we got to get Draymond up out of here. Either we got to get him up out of here or move him to the floor, because he's getting killed right now. And wherein in the United States and the NBA, they say, okay, well, hey, when, Golden State could go small and this would be a problem, that don't work overseas as far as international play. And something Klay Thompson said after the game, and Klay Thompson, he lit him up for 30 the other day. He said that they have had a habit of getting these big leads and relaxing. 18-point lead in the third quarter, blown. A 16-point
leadership.
Leadership. Well, you know what? And to that, I can understand what you mean by Kevin Durant. I would probably also throw some at Carmelo, to consider the fact that he's been there.
Of course.
And then, maybe, just maybe, we have a team that may not be, and obviously it's based on, because surely if Chris Paul is healthy, if Steph Curry is healthy and decides to play, then, I'm not going to say Kyrie, but Kyle Lowry doesn't make the squad. So maybe it's how we are constructed as to why we're having some of the problems that we're having, and maybe just maybe, you know, because of how we're constructed, we're in trouble against a better opponent.
I agree.
Now the next
Kyle,
question I have for you
wait, hold
guys
on.
is,
Before you go to the
can
next
we
question,
lose?
Kyle, before you
What?
go on to the next question, I 100% agree because if you look at this Olympic roster that we have, this is the
Mm-hmm.
B Olympic roster. You know what I'm saying? This is the
Okay.
B team Olympic roster because look at all of the names that you named that are not playing on this squad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
DeMar DeRozan didn't play in the last Olympics. He wasn't even part of the whole, training camp, it being invited select team type of thing. You know, say they threw him on here because of all of the people that dropped out. Russell Westbrook dropped out. You said there's a lot of guys that played in the last Olympics that aren't here that have been through the process that are not on this squad.
Right.
Kyle Lowry wasn't part of the Olympic process, but he's on the squad. You know what I'm saying? And I think moving forward, I think what Jerry Colangelo did was great by instituting a process for the Olympics because we can't just throw teams together and go out here and just beat them. Like the world has caught up too much to just be able to do that and win on purely talent alone. We just can't do that. But moving forward, and I know I'm probably going a little bit off track before you go into your next question. I like the fact that they already got the next coach, which is Greg Popovich, and Greg
Mm-hmm.
Popovich has selected the select team. And I like who he has chosen because he's chosen the next wave of talent. He went as far as D'Angelo Russell. He's gotten he got the Lakers big three, Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle. He's
Right.
high on Julius Randle. Who else? He got a whole bunch of them youngins, man, and that's what I like, and that's how you build the program. Because 4 years from now, guess what? Most of those guys are going to be in their fifth and sixth, maybe seventh years in the league. You know what I'm saying? That's when you start to hit your prime. So I like what USA basketball has been able to establish. It's just that this team is not a byproduct of the process that Jerry Colangelo has put in place. And I think we're seeing that issue, that leadership issue. You know what I'm saying? Holding those guys accountable, man.
So, question I want to throw to you guys is, and I'll start with you first, FIFO. Can we lose? I mean, theoretically, we know we can lose because it's possible anytime you lace them up. But are you in fear that this team could lose a Olympic game?
I'm not in fear.
Well, how concerned are you that we'll lose?
I'm not concerned.
How concerned are you?
Yeah, I'm not concerned. I'm not in fear that they're going to lose, but it won't surprise me if they do. Now, I think there's a handful of teams that can, you know what I'm saying, Spain, like even though Paul, I think the Gasols playing or one of them is not playing?
Just one.
I think Paul's not
I
playing.
saw Paul out there. I haven't seen Marc Gasol out there. I don't think he's
I
playing.
think Powell is playing. I think Mark is sitting out.
Okay, yeah. So one of them, but they still got Ibaka. They still got Sergio Rodriguez. They got Rudy Fernandez. They got Ricky Rubio. They got the most NBA talent. So, and back when Kobe and them played, you know what I'm saying? Spain pushed them, boys. Spain pushed them. So to me, I won't be surprised if Spain beats them. Australia is nice. Argentina is nice. France at 100% is nice. And Canada is coming. They're just too young, so they might be ready, if not next Olympics, the Olympics after in 2014, or 2024, I mean. But Spain is the one team that will not shock me at all. At all. If they beat America, I could see that happening. But I'm not scared. I definitely expect for USA to win every game. Because nobody has 12 NBA guys. They just don't. They just don't. So
Right.
I don't see it happening, but I won't be surprised if it does.
What about you, Ken? Any concerns? How concerned are you about Team USA possibly taking an L in Rio?
I'm not. I think if they would have lost the 3 games where they were in danger of losing, would have been it. But I think that woke them up and they got their attention. So I think they'll be fine from here.
What about you, B?
I thought I answered. This is a different question.
Yeah, it's a different question, B.
What was it?
How concerned are you about Team USA taking an L in Rio?
Little concern. Like I said, I think this could be, if they don't come with no intensity, man, this can be 2004. This can be 2004 Olympics, man. Like, I mean, I'm not like super concerned, like, oh my God, they about to lose, but like, it's just like the way they've been playing. I really think these teams are looking at them and like, you know what, they seem vulnerable. I think we can take them out. I think we can beat USA. These guys are feeling confident and confident and confident. So yeah, man, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little bit concerned.
I'm a little concerned too. I think we're going to be okay. If nothing else, it makes the games more interesting to watch because I tuned in the other day and I'm like, man, we were only up 6, and it was a close game, and I watched the game between Argentina and France. I mean, that was a double overtime. That was a good game. I mean, like that game was straight up like NBA basketball, and one of the things that I like about some of the guys, and like FIFO mentioned, not everybody has NBA players on their team, but these guys have been playing together. I mean, think about it. Argentina still has Manu Ginobili on their team. Like Ginobili's been playing on that team since he was like 17 years old. So he's been playing with these cats like forever. So they know each other. They know each other's game. Wherein, for our squad, it's going to have to take us a minute to kind of get used to each other. And to be honest, I don't know if these tune-up games are enough. So we'll see. So we'll definitely be tuning in to USA basketball. Hopefully they will bring on the gold. Speaking of gold, Michael Phelps, 28 Olympic medals. This is it. He's retiring. Your thoughts on Michael Phelps, Beezy?
Man, dude, Michael Phelps is freaking phenomenal, man. I think if he definitely gonna, I think he will. I think now seeing the way he's, talking in interviews and stuff, and the way he's been, pretty much dominating this Olympics, I think this is the perfect way for him to go up on top. 23 freaking gold medals, and I think a total of 28 altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, man. You have to consider him as one of the greatest Olympic athletes to ever go down in history. Like, you have to. I mean, just for him to dominate that sport for so many years, man, is just like crazy, and just in the fashion, the way he does it, it's amazing, man. It's amazing to watch. It's amazing to witness. I'm always a huge fan of like witnessing history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll always be like, I just want to witness this. I want to see stuff that I didn't witness, before I was born or whatever, that my dad or granddad was able to witness. Like, I like to see stuff, records being broken, and stuff like that. So for him to dominate the way he did, and 2004 and then 2008, was he in 2000? Yeah, he was in 2004. 2004, yeah. 2008, 2012, which he was supposed to be his last one, but I think with this one, the way he dominated and still, got all the gold medals, man, and yeah, phenomenal. I mean, it's just great. I love it. I loved every, and Michael Phelps seemed like he seemed like a cool dude at the same time. He seemed like a good dude. So I like to see when good dudes like that just go ahead and win it out. It's funny because when he was winning the 200-meter butterflies and stuff, people was like, well, that's what happens when you smoke some weed. You can go out there and win a whole bunch of gold medals and all that stuff. So, yeah, I thought that was funny. But at the same time, man, I think that's good for him that he's, able to dominate like that, man. That's crazy. That is like crazy. He's going to go down as one of the he got his name etched in stone as just not just Olympics, just in sports in general. You know what I'm saying? You got to mention him as like one of the greatest, man, to like ever do that. Like dominate like that. That's really cool, man. That's awesome.
What about you, Ken? I know you say you haven't watched much of the Olympics, but surely you have some opinions on Michael Phelps.
Well, just seeing every time I look up, I see a headline that says that he's won another gold medal. And it seems like you keep wondering, like, is anybody gonna beat him? All these gold medals, and even I had to start questioning myself, like, where does he rank in terms of being an all-time great? When it comes to the Olympics, Michael Phelps definitely became a household name. When he entered the scene, he came seemingly out of nowhere, and he was the talk of the town. Like, everybody was messing with the dude.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bit of a bump in the road, but if you're gonna go out this is the way you go out.
Mhm.
You go out on with the bang, and that's what he's doing. And you can't deny what he's doing in the 2016 Olympics. It's amazing to see that you go out and everybody that lines up beside you and that faces you will get the Michael Phelps face and lose, and that's it. So I think it's incredible, man, and I think when we look back on it, we will marvel even more at what he has done, and I think we're also going to be looking at who can break it, who's
Right.
going to be able to break his record, and I think that's when we start doing that, like Michael Jordan 6-0 or Montana's 4-0. Like when we get to that point where we're comparing, say who's going to get to this level, that's when I think we'll truly, really appreciate the greatness of Michael Phelps. But right now, I think we're just living in the moment and enjoying it. And I think that's where social media kind of, lends to the overall Olympic experience because everybody just take it in the moment together.
No doubt. That's a great point. What about you, FIFO? Your thoughts on Michael Phelps?
Man, look, I think he's going to go down as one of the greatest Olympic athletes ever because I think, how you guys were just talking about Michael Johnson's record lasting this
Mm-hmm.
long. Bruh, ain't nobody, I think probably before I die or I'm going to be super old like Ken, that, somebody, that somebody's going to get close to, coming close to this Michael Phelps record, man. And I don't know, man. It's really surreal, bro. Like 23 Olympic gold medals, man. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. And
Unreal.
to have a title as the world's fastest uh swimmer, you know what I'm saying? Like can't like that can't be taken away from you. Like, cause we talk all the time these hypotheticals. Well, is LeBron better than this? Is he the best? Is KD and Steph and this, that, whatever? When it comes to the Olympics, it's final, and you have bragging rights for 4 years. And
Mm-hmm.
Michael Phelps has had bragging rights for over a decade. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Usain Bolt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the fastest human being on land, and you have proven that for 12 years. 12 years, man. Like, nobody's going to touch that. Nobody has been able to win the 100 meters in 3 straight Olympics. Nobody's going to get 23 gold medals in swimming. That's just not, I don't see it happening, man. I got to be Ken's age before it does, man. I'm for real, dog. Like, I don't see how it's possible. I just don't see it.
That's so funny. But I agree with you, man. You guys touched on everything. I think it's incredible when you look at it and the totality of it, and then just being able to be. I think that's the thing. Like people don't really understand how hard it is to be dominant. It's hard to be dominant in any sport. That's why I give, Gabby Douglas, Simone Biles, all of them, Michael Phelps, Usain, and we'll talk about Usain Bolt here in just a second. But it's hard to be dominant for 4 years, but to come back and do it in another 8 years. And I mean, like he's done it over these last 3, 4 Olympics. It's incredible. And in theory, he's still relatively young. If he wants to, he can come back in 2020 if he wanted to. He already said it's not going to happen, but I mean, you just never know. But yeah, I salute him, man. I'm much like people. I don't think we're going to see this type of dominance in the sport of swimming. Maybe when we get older, maybe. But you have to do it, and again, these Olympic sports, it's hard to stay on top for so long because there's always somebody else. The person that's going to break that's going to break Michael Phelps' time, is probably 8 or 9 years old. So, man, he what he's done is nothing short of phenomenal. Now you just mentioned him, FIFO, Usain Bolt, man. Usain Bolt Sunday night steps up. He's up against what's the guy's name from the U.S.? I forgot his name just that fast.
Justin Gatlin.
Justin Gatlin. Justin Gatlin, man, bless his heart. He's 34 years old. He's thinking. He knows that he but he's never, to my knowledge, he's never beaten Bolt. Now I could be
He's
wrong.
beaten him once.
Okay,
He beat him
okay.
once. He beat him once in like some type of trials.
So they Sunday night, man, they line up, and Justin Gatlin is running as hard as he can. And it looks like for the first 40, 50 meters that he got him. And then Bolt just hit a switch. And it was a wrap. I mean, like 9.8 seconds, which is not a great time by Bolt standards, but incredible, man. Ken, what did you think of Usain Bolt, man?
You know what? This guy is a superstar, man. He really is, and it's just the things he's able to do, the things he's done are just flat out incredible. To sit here and to look back at the guy as you're running down the field, down the track. What?
Smiling.
Smile, stunting. That to me, dog, like, it doesn't get any better, any braggadocious, any more arrogant than that. And the only thing you can do is just take it. Because
That's it.
are you gonna beat him? Who can beat him? This dude is practically a damn superhero. He's a metahuman. He's like Flash. Like and the room between him and the people behind him. I mean, it's incredible, man. Like I just remember, man, when this guy just came on the scene and everybody, people loved him, but they also kind of gave him shit for his style, his arrogance and stuff like that. But he backed it up, and we always say, if you can back it up, it doesn't matter what you say,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what he does. Like it's just incredible, man. And I think that picture of him smiling, looking back, it's gonna go down in Olympic history, man. I mean, the dude is simply incredible, and the only way anybody's going to stand a chance in that competition is if he retires. Because I think even as he ages, the only thing that's going to probably happen is going to be for a closer race, but he's probably still going to win. So I don't know, man. And like you said, Kyle, that wasn't even his fastest time.
Not even
Like,
close.
it's like a tweet that said he was running like the freaking road runner. You smiling. You racing and smiling, dog. Like, what are you doing? I don't know, man. It's incredible, dog. It's incredible.
I think you said it best. You take it. What else can you do? And keep this in mind, guys, and everybody watching. If Bolt wins the 200, which he's only raced once this year, but if he wins the 200 and the 4x100, he would have been the first person to ever win the 100, 200, and 4x100 in 3 consecutive Olympics. That's never been done. That's unreal.
Damn.
That's unreal. And some have said that feat alone puts him right up there with Michael Phelps. I don't know. It just depends on how you look at it. And I mean, we're not really going to debate that. But nobody else in the Olympics have ever done anything like that. FIFA, what's your thoughts on Usain Bolt?
Man, look, we just reviewed DJ Khaled Major Key.
Okay.
So make sure everybody watching Dead in Sports, you be on the lookout for that.
That's a major key.
Justin Gatlin is Big Sean, and Usain Bolt is Kendrick Lamar. It's just what it is. Every time Justin runs his best race, and for them first 25 to 50 meters, he don't see Usain Bolt, I already know it. His head is like, oh, I got it. I'm coming out with my best stuff. Now, all of a sudden, here come this dude like, oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. He just passed you, man. Usain Bolt is the most ridiculous track athlete sprinter ever. For this one reason. Most sprinters in 100 meters take anywhere between 44 to 46 strides. Usain Bolt takes 41. I don't know how you beat that. I have to take 3 less steps to do what you do. I don't know how you beat that, man, because you don't
Right.
coach 6'5". You
Nope.
can't coach that. You can't coach somebody to take 3, 4 more strides in the race because I'm not a track person like that. I don't know if any one of you guys ran track, but all of your steps, especially as a sprinter, them things are choreographed. The way
Right.
you come out, the way you're low, the number of steps that you take, it's already like pre-planned. It just depends on how hard you like you push, how hard you can, get out that gate. But for a guy to be that tall, that long, and then if you look at Usain Bolt over the 3 Olympics, he's gotten swoller because he's put on man weight. So he's only
Mm-hmm.
gotten stronger, man. You know what I'm saying? His takeoff has gotten better. It's still not elite, not consistently. But once he hits about 35 to 50 meters, man, and he starts to get
It's a
full
wrap.
stride, there's nobody that has enough top end speed to maintain a lead, man. And like you said, Kyle, in the 100, especially in the 200, because you start in that corner, man. By mid corner, he's caught because the
It's a
bet
wrap.
the best times always get the middle lanes. By the
Mm-hmm.
middle of that turn, he's caught everybody. By the straightaway, he's got a 10 body lead on the next closest person. And then you talking about the 4x100, he don't even run the anchor leg. He's the corner.
Right.
He's the so they're gonna make sure that
Oh
it's not
man.
even close at the end. So man, look, I think that if he does accomplish the 200 and the 4x1 in this, he is on the same level as Michael Phelps for a couple of reasons. The reason why Michael Phelps has all of these medals is because there's so many variations of swimming.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
relay races. Like when you are a sprinter, there's 3 races that you could really run: 100,
Mm-hmm.
200, 4x1. Maybe what other relays do they have? They
That's
don't
it.
have. Yeah, that's it. No, they got the 4x1,
Yeah.
right?
4x1. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a 4x1, but that's not a
Mm-hmm.
sprinter's race. So in terms of total medal count, Usain is at a disadvantage. So he'll never
Precisely.
catch Michael Phelps and all of that. But look, I think that the title of world's fastest human is better than world's fastest swimmer because you need to get into a pool or the ocean or whatever to truly measure how fast you are of a swimmer. Me, you, can, and B could go right now and see who's the fastest person. That you like as a kid, that is one of the first things athletically that you do. Hey, are you fast? Run from here to here and do your best.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does that. Everybody can compete. Everybody on this planet can do that. For him to be the fastest human on this planet for 12 years, and he's considering coming back for the Tokyo Games, if he accomplishes that feat again,
It's a
yo,
wrap.
that is to me, the greatest Olympian of all time to me. If he does it in Tokyo. Right now, him and Michael Phelps are here. Michael Phelps retired and Usain comes back and he does all that, man, hands down. Hands down.
No doubt. No doubt. What about you, B?
Man, Usain Bolt, he's not from this damn planet, man. Like when I was watching that 100 damn final, and the way he like ran down Justin Gatlin was just, it's like he knows when to turn it up. It's just like, because even
Mm-hmm.
when he had the, and I hate to bring it, well, I ain't gonna say hate to bring this up, but even when he did the world record, I can't remember if he was either '04 or '08 when he had
I think it was 08.
the 9.58. He still didn't like go all hard at it, go at it at 100% because he still kind of like looked to the side and like Ken mentioned, started kind of showboating a little bit, and he still got 9.58, the world record. And it's like, I really do think he can still compete 4 years, 4 years from now in the 2020 games and still dominate, because he is just that dude. I don't know if he's gonna hang it up after this Olympics or not, but man, yeah, that dude is just not fair. And for him to be so tall, because normally you see track stars, they're like, between 5'8", 5'10".
Right.
So for him to be that height and to take those long strides and fast strides at the same time, that dude is like a human Jamaican cheetah. Like, it's crazy. That's how fast he is.
Jamaican cheetah.
Even when he was like even when he was doing the heats, you could tell he was like that, like what you showed me Saturday. Like
he was jogging.
He was like just jogging and still was getting what 10.77 seconds. It's like, dog, this dude is not fair. One thing I hope, I pray that, like, how whenever someone's retired and all of a sudden all the skeletons start coming out, I hope we don't hear nothing about him taking steroids, and I hope he's strictly all natural.
Right.
I hope nothing comes out years later that can taint his legacy.
Right.
That's
Same here.
That's the only thing I'm hoping for at this point, because he has just been dominating that track and field, man. That 100 and 200 meters, you're not seeing him. You are not seeing him in the 100, 200 meters. You just might as well just pack it up and go home. It's funny because they've been making a meme out of one of the runners, like his facial expressions. Every time when when Usain Bolt got the finish line, you can see the runner's facial expression looking like, man, it's some bullshit. Why the hell did I even compete in this in the first place? And it's like, that's at that point, psychologically, what is it doing to the other runners? You know what I'm saying? Because you remember how, like, Tiger Woods had that psychological edge going into Sunday? When you see him walk out Sunday at a tournament with that red Nike shirt on, you knew it was on. If you was only up by like 3 strokes, you could forget it. You know what I'm saying? Tiger Woods was going to hunt you down, and it messed with golfers' mind as they was teeing off. And that's how it is. I wonder, is it like that with these runners? Because you have to, when you see Usain Bolt lining up, you like, I might as well try to see if I can get second place. Like, I mean, it's like, who's going to get second place? So that, man, that dude there, man, is insane, man. Like, yeah, if he comes back and dominate 2020 Olympics, yeah, you definitely have to put him. I mean, still Michael Phelps got 23 freaking gold medals. That's freaking insane. But Usain Bolt is he don't run in a lot of different events like Michael Phelps does anyway. And Michael Phelps being like 7, 8 different swimming events every time. But
right.
That Usain Bolt, man, is out of this world fast. It's good, and I'm glad he's
crazy, man.
Showboating, and he's backing it up at the same time. I love it. I love it.
Yes, sir.
I love when you can talk the talk and you can walk the walk at the same damn time, man. It makes you look even greater when that happens. So more props to him.
Man, let me tell you something. I think one of the things that, and people didn't really see it on TV, but when they ran Sunday night, because let's just keep it real, a lot of these Olympic events, with the exception of maybe basketball, a lot of these Olympic events have been in stadiums that have been half full. Like, they haven't been like sold out. That stadium Sunday night was sold out, and for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't think they've ever done this before.
They're afraid of that Zika, Kyle.
They ran the preliminary. They ran a preliminary Saturday, I think Saturday, and then they ran the semifinal heat at 8 o'clock, and then they came back and ran it like an hour and a half later, 9:30. So really not a lot of time to rest or what have you for Gatlin and Bolt. But that stadium was packed. It was must-see TV. Everybody was watching. And like FIFO said, man, people forget this dude is 6'5". I mean, like, just imagine Kobe, somebody the size of Kobe, and he kind of built like, he's not as muscular as Kobe, but somebody the size. And I always tell people, like, you really, for whatever you think about a cat like LeBron, when you see him, if you ever get a chance to watch him play an NBA game live and and you're able to get close to the court, you have a different appreciation for his game because of how big he is and how skillful he is. And I said the same thing about LeBron and Dirk. Those are the two people that like kind of freak me out, how freakishly athletic they were when I saw them up close, sitting close at an NBA game. but you don't really realize how big Bolt is. But he's 6'5". Like people said, he's not going to get off to a great start, obviously, because genetically it's hard for somebody that tall to come out of the gate. But that last 50, 60 meters, it's a wrap. You're not if you and I felt you kind of felt for Justin Gatlin because you could see him, man. He was just running just as hard as he could, and Bolt just went right past him. So FIFO said exactly what I was thinking. Me and some of my buddies, we've had this debate over the last couple of days. Personally, I would put him up above Phelps if he's able to pull this off. Now, of course, Phelps has more medals, but I think if you can do this for 3 straight Olympics, I mean, that's insane because most sprinters don't have that kind of shelf life. Same with the gymnasts. Gabby Douglas was the darling, 4 years ago, and she's, an afterthought at this point. And I mean, she's performed well, but it's been about Simone Biles. But yeah, only thing I have to add on Bolt is, man, I enjoy watching him run. I just do, and like Ken said, I don't have a problem with the stunting. I think that's great for track. Much like B said, I hope and pray that we don't find anything out later, because I think the sport of track and field can't afford to have any kind of ties with him and any type of drugs or anything like that. But I love watching him, man. And Sunday night was must-see TV for me. And I personally, when I watch the Olympics, track and field is what I really pay attention to. Track and field and basketball. Everything else I'll watch, but I'm really, really interested in track and field. Go ahead, B.
I about to, well, I guess it's all y'all. Don't sleep on swimming, man. Like, let's not act like, track is like, one is more than the other, man. Swimming ain't
Oh no, I'm not saying that, but I think the point that people makes is that
swimming. That's impressive, man. Swimming is no joke. That will wear you
Hey,
out.
B.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will, man. Look, I've always said it. I think the swimmers are the best conditioned athletes because it's the only sport that has 100% resistance the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And
The whole
also,
time.
when you watch them do interviews, they don't do interviews right after the swim meet. Maybe a couple minutes after, and they're still breathing hard like 5-10 minutes after, man.
Dude.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep. That's a great point too, FIFA. I never thought about that. Yeah, swimming is the only sport when you're competing, you have resistance. I mean, in track and field, if you have a little bit of wind behind you, it could affect your record because they say it's wind aided. But you're competing against the water. So and again, I'm not knocking Phelps. I just think if we could put Usain Bolt in 5 different sprinting events, I think he'd probably have as many medals. Real quick on track and field before we get out of here. Last night.
Hold on, Kyle. One more point.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Usain Bolt to me is more dominant amongst the field than Phelps has been. Not saying Phelps hasn't been dominant, but when Usain pulls away, it's not like how Phelps pulls away all the time. Like Phelps does it. Don't get it twisted. Phelps has world records, but he ain't got nothing that look like 9.58. That's all I'm saying. Like he ain't got nothing ridiculous like that.
No doubt. So real quick on last one on track and field. Last night, a bit of controversy happened in the 400. Shaunae Miller, who I think she ran track in college up at University of Georgia. She was running for the Bahamas up against Allison Felix, obviously from the United States. They ran the 400, great 400. Shaunae Miller, she jumps out in the lead and she's hanging on in that back 100. Here comes Allison Felix, multi gold medal winner. And they get to the finish line, and Shaunae Miller, some say she stumbled, some say she dove for the finish line, and she beat Allison Felix by, I think, 0.07 of a second. Did you have a problem with, and some people say that they think that she should have been disqualified for diving. Now, according to track and field rules, and I had to look this up because I don't know, track and field basically measures you as your torso crosses the finish line. So you can stick your hand out, you can stick your head out, it doesn't matter as long as your torso crosses the finish line. And by her falling or diving or whatever you want to call it, her torso came across the finish line before Allison Felix. B, did you have a problem with, how this race was, I guess, called, if you will?
No. I mean, I did find it a little odd the way she dove to the finish line like that. But if it's legal, I mean, what more can I say? I mean, if if you can do that and you can get that goal, then so be it. When I looked at the instant replay though, like looking at it, I don't even think she needed to dive though. To be honest with you, I mean, because she had like a pretty much like a slight lead on her anyway.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like she was about to lose and she dove and got it. She was look at the instant replay. She was already like, well, at least the angle that I saw, I was like, well, she was already pretty much leading, so I didn't really see the need for her to dive. I don't know if she was just being extra with it or if she really was like at that point about to fall out or if she knew what she was doing. But like I said, if it's legal, if it's in the rule book that you can do that, I don't see why people are so up in arms about it. I mean, yeah, it may look like an easy way out, but if she's kind of bending the rules a little bit without breaking them, and to get the win, hey, old girl, she look, what's her name? Jones. I think her last name Jones. She should have had a bigger lead on her. Where if she would have dove, it wouldn't have mattered. So,
Yeah, Allison Felix. Yeah.
yeah, Allison Felix, she should have had a bigger gap on her. But it is what it is. I wasn't really like tripping over that or like crying over it or something like, oh man, that's some punk stuff. It's just like once I found out that it's a part of rules and what she did was legal and fair, hey, what else can you do?
What about you, Cam?
I thought this shit was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's complex for me, mainly because there's one thing to be the sportsmanship of it all, but then there's also the other side where, man, whatever it takes to win. And right now, there's one gold medal winner, and that's Shaunae Miller, because she left it all on the court, man. Like, and she, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, I've ever seen. But she went for it. She went for it, and you can't. You know what? We were talking about this today at when I was meeting up with Mike and Rod and Mr. Rap Critic, and a lot of people, or there are people saying the judges are the blame because the judges should have disqualified her, and then that would have been it. Because now we're basically looking at the Shaunae Miller and Felix. And it's heartbreaking for Felix because she was about to set a record for herself. That was a gold medal that was literally hers, that was taken away from her by Supergirl. And on one hand, it's unfair, but on the other hand, it's like this is a competition. Like, how many times do you have, like, every 4 years you got a chance to win a gold medal? And she shot her shot and as the gold medal. And at the end of the day, it was legal, like B said, and it was fair. Now we can argue, whether or not it was, fair sportsmanship or whatever. Yeah, we can look at that, but it don't matter. Like, if it's in the rules, it's fair. If it's in the rules and it's not illegal, it's fair. It's fair game. So I think the lesson learned, and what we may see from now on, we may see a lot of diving ass runners trying to go for that medal. They are going to be taking dives to get it. And I hear, it's running, it's not swimming, and this, that, and the other. But, I mean, man, look, this government, this country is ran off loopholes. And the loopholes suck for the people that don't play the loopholes, and they end up on the losing end, which sometimes is middle America and poor America. But the fact of the matter is, those that know the loopholes and use the loopholes to their advantage walk away with the gold, and guess who got the gold? The person that used the loophole to their advantage. It's America, man.
She wanted it.
She wanted it bad.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I'm not mad at her at
as
all.
much as I love Allison Felix, I mean, and like you guys, I didn't know that was a rule of, you know, because we were just, and like people said, I ran track in high school, but I did like long jump, triple jump, so I never was like in sprints or anything. But you know, my track coach told us, hey, run through the lines. So I'm assuming that if you dive, that's fair game too. But you know, it and I know it pissed off a lot of people, and I wonder if it's just that because it was an American, you know, and somebody as beloved as Allison Felix is, you know, will we get this reaction? Would it have been the same if, you know, if it would have been Russian? You know, I don't know. You got any take on that, man, on the dive that was?
You know, honestly, I didn't see it. I didn't
It's
see
all
it, but
good.
I read about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of know what happened, but I visually didn't see it. But if it's within the rule books, I don't have any issues. You know what I'm saying? Like I think in sports, a lot of times it's cheating or it's not. It's black or white.
Right.
And can you bend rules? You can bend rules. And you know the whole world and life is a lot in the gray area, and that was a lot in the gray area from what I read. So I'm okay with it as long as she doesn't get disqualified. Like I don't see nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. Allison Felix, hey, you know, if you would have got off just maybe a little bit faster, maybe you could have got it. But you know, it's how it ended. And I think she said she's gonna retire after this one, right? She's not gonna be back in Tokyo. You
Yeah.
know, so you know, it is what it is, man. But here's the thing with athletes just in general, especially Olympic athletes, because they can't do nothing until for 4 years. She says that. Now, how old is she now?
I have
How,
no
how,
idea.
I don't know how old she is, but if she's young enough to come back and compete at a high level in Tokyo, I think she will. I think she's saying that right now,
Mm-hmm.
just like Michael Phelps. I think Michael Phelps is probably going to come back because look at how he's dominating. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like Allison Felix got blown, you know, and it's like, oh, well, you know, my time is up. She can still compete, man. I think she'll probably be back.
You know what? And listen, the Patriots do this type of stuff all the
All the
time.
time.
And we complain about it. So if you want to call her a cheater,
Hey, well, they are known cheaters, Ken. We know the Patriots cheat.
well, what they're saying is what her and her trainer what they're saying is that it wasn't intentional and that she slipped. Look, I know it's a spin. I watched it. I saw a clip of it, and it slightly looks like she fell, but at the same time, it looked like running so fast in order to prepare for the dive, it made it look like she stumbled. You know what I'm saying? Because she's going so fast. Like, how do you come out of a full run to a dive?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna
You know
look.
what? To be honest, when I saw it live, it looked like she stumbled. It looked like she was. It didn't look like she dove. It looked like she was falling, and because like we see people fall at the finish line all the time. Personally, I think it's funny to jump on the ground and get skint up like that. But honestly, it wasn't until they showed it in slow motion that I even gave it a thought that she may have dove at the finish line, and then I didn't even really think twice about it. And then I get on Twitter, and everybody's going crazy about it.
It looks like she fell. I'm gonna watch it again. Let me see. It looks like she fell.
Yeah, so maybe track and field will change the rules. Maybe they probably won't, because I think this has been in existence for a while. Let's move on to the NFL. Our boy Cam Newton, the reigning NFL MVP, was interviewed, I guess, a couple weeks ago, and the interview is now appearing in this month's GQ magazine. Cam Newton has some choice words, as we've been talking probably over the last Man, it seems like the last 4 or 5 months about things that have gone on in this country socially, particularly when it comes to Black America. Um, Cam Newton's, I guess the GQ had asked Josh Norman, his former teammate, and Derek Anderson, who is Cam Newton's backup. Josh Norman is Black, Derek Anderson's white, and they asked Cam if the criticism that he got was fueled by racism. And Cam offered the following quote: "It is not racism. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'll let you be the judge. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as some people have certain beliefs, and I have my own beliefs. And we can agree to disagree on certain things. This is what makes sports so amazing, that we can start a discussion around the table in the newspaper and magazines that will get people's attention. And what that does, and that's what sports does. I don't want this to be about race, because it's not. It's not. It's like we're beyond that. As a nation, yeah, I mean, you bring it to people's attention, but after that, that's it." End quote. So, Ken, your take on, and we've done shows and talked about how Cam has been criticized, and we saw what happened post Super Bowl interview. I mean, I don't know necessarily if that was about race, but people threw that up about how Cam sulked or whatever. They didn't show him congratulating Peyton Manning, even though he did. But particularly the comment where he says, "I don't want this to be about race because it's not. It's like we're beyond that as a nation." Your take on Cam's criticism or non-criticism of him being when it comes to race?
That money must be good, bro. That's some good ass money, man. We talked about this before in the past, where certain athletes reach a certain status, and it's hard for them to be critical of the system because they don't want to jeopardize their income. Fine, that's your choice. But you can't sit here and say that we're beyond that. You can feel that personally and honestly that race didn't factor into anything that happened with you. But my issue is when he says that we're beyond that, because I know good and damn well Cam Newton knows that nowhere in hell we're beyond race in America. And just what was the last quote? You can bring it up and point it out.
Yeah, he said you can bring it to people's attention, but after that, that's it.
What the fuck? What does that mean? What, Cam? If we're beyond race, what the hell are we bringing up? Come on, man. Like this isn't kind of the problem. This is the problem that I have, and I understand that Cam just wants to play football. He doesn't want to deal with the dabbing and the way that he was perceived after the game, where he was sulking. He doesn't want to think that race had anything to do with that and all this other stuff. And you know what, man? When you just want to put on your helmet and go out there and throw footballs around all day and don't want to deal with social issues, that's fine. I think the better way for me, it was just, look, man, I just want to play football. I just want to talk about this anymore and leave it at that. But don't sit here and say, his parents, well, no, they brother to the side that he's not receiving money from and have a serious talk to him, because when you say things like that, people take that and use it as gospel to counter or fight against real issues that do deal with race. And that's where Cam's comments come into play, and that's where they become problematic, because they're pointing to this one guy that says, we're beyond that. Race doesn't matter. Well, guess what that one guy has is a shitload of a lot of money, where his class is elevating him to a certain level that's slightly beyond race until he does something that removes all of that money from him, and he's looked at as just another black guy? I don't know. Dancing, maybe, which black people tend to do fairly well. You know, dancing is one where you're dancing and showboating and doing all this stuff. You know, that's one thing. Oh, but when you have a hoodie on, you're in the post conference, the press conference, and you get up and you walk away. Oh, how about, yeah, I think race comes into play then, Cam, and people try to code it, and people try to say, oh, you know what, it's about sportsmanship and this, that, and the other. And for some people in this world, it really is about that. But there's also a subsection of this in this country on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram that will just say that's that. Oh, Cam, what about the tweets you get when people are calling you a nigger? How about that? Oh, we're beyond race, though. And I know you get them, bruh. I know you get them. You may not read your mentions, but you get them. Or if you don't get them, guess who do get them or guess who see them? How about us fans that watch football, that happen to be on Twitter, that saw all of the criticisms that were not from the media, that used coded words to describe your behavior after the Super Bowl? How about the regular people in the world, the people that we have to interact and deal with on a day-to-day basis that are not protected by your status and your stature in this country? Oh, race factors in to us. Now, not all the time, but you can't say that we're beyond that because we see it. We see it. Even the people that don't agree with even the white people, the Mexican people, whatever, even the people that don't agree with or think that the words and the language that people are using to describe black people, Mexican people, Haitian people, Cuban people, Asian people, even everybody that disagree with it still see it. And when you see it, it means there is an existence to it. It means that we're not beyond it. We may personally don't behave in that way, but there are people that do. And those are the people that keep it around. So you can't say we're beyond that because there are people, and there's quite a few people out here that do see it and do keep it alive. And when you do the things you do, we're sitting here, white, black, and every other race, defending you because we see the people that aren't attacking you and using the N-word and calling you those things. So you can't say it doesn't matter, man. Those are dangerous words to come out of your mouth from a person like you that grew up in freaking Georgia. I need him to get his shit together. Because trust and believe, he was a nigger until he started winning.
Hey, man, you said a lot, Ken, and I'll say this much, and I'm gonna throw it to B. Well, first and foremost, this actually, when I was listening to you, Ken, I thought back to the recent review, well, not review, discussion about Black Lives Matter, and I told you guys I thought by far that was one of the best, if not the best, reviews that you guys have ever done. Period. No matter what was in front of you. I'll say this much. What I think Cam should have done, no comment. If he says no comment, I can understand him not wanting to get into the racial discussion. From what I understand, like, he really wasn't giving this guy in this interview everything that he wanted to get. And you know when the interview's going sour. And maybe Cam just didn't feel like, you know, the interview was going to go his way, so maybe he was just, you know, trying to stay away from that. And I can understand to some degree after the whole big blow up after the Super Bowl as to why he might not have wanted to get into that. But you can't say that we're beyond this as a nation. Because you can turn on the TV, and I promise you the first 5 minutes of whatever newscast that you watch will let you know that we're not beyond race. We're not beyond racism as a nation. And I don't care where you are. It doesn't have to be in your hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. It doesn't have to be in the city in which you work in Charlotte, North Carolina. It can be in Milwaukee. It can be in Ferguson. It can be in Baton Rouge. It can be in Cincinnati. It can be wherever. And the sad part about it is, Cam, is that it is wherever. So my thing is this, and I say this to Cam and anybody else who does not, any other athlete who may not know what to say or may be afraid, no comment. You'll save yourself a whole lot of problems in the long run by just not saying anything. I would have rather Cam said nothing because, like Ken said, when something else, when the next Milwaukee happens, and people bring out race, the first thing people will say is, "Well, Cam Newton says there's no racism." So nah. You like Ken said, those are dangerous words. Dangerous words. B, what did you make of Cam's comment?
It's funny because I guess when this initially, I guess when the story broke, I didn't know what was going on. I think I just kept seeing people was like, "Oh man, Cam, no, Cam." So I'm like, so then I had tweeted, I'm like, well, what's the deal? What did Cam do now, or whatever? So then someone tweeted me a picture of him stepping off the plane with a hat, like dressing different. So I'm like, that's it. So then that's when someone sent me I think the GQ interview talking about what he was saying, about we're past racism. I'm like, oh no, yeah, I was just thinking like, oh god, like, good. You know what this reminds me of? Like him. I wouldn't say it's to this magnitude, I guess, because of course different era. Like him saying that is almost like OJ saying, I'm
Oh
OJ.
yeah.
I'm not black. I'm OJ. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what you
Right.
pretty much is in the undertone way. It's like that's what you're saying now. Like you're not black. You're Cam Newton. So we're over this racism stuff. Like, are you kidding me? So I'm just like, as I'm reading, I'm like, oh, that's why people was like, oh, I got it. At that point, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been doing the same thing because that's what I was doing. I was like, damn, Cam, and I immediately thought about when the OJ situation. Like I said, I don't want to put it exactly right at that level because it's different time, different era, and OJ was just really that was huge. So I wouldn't put that on that magnitude, but yeah, it kind of it almost I took it as that small undertone, like okay, yeah, okay, just because you're Cam Newton, like Ken said very beautifully, like just because you're Cam Newton and you're having these issues, racism doesn't exist. It's almost like he's believing. I remember when Stephen A. said this when he spoke at some college.
Yeah, I remember that. I
I can't
remember that.
remember. You know what I'm talking about, though, right? And he said he told the young athletes, "Oh, racism don't exist for you guys." Stephen A., what the hell are you smoking? Like, it's like we're starting to see this because, like Ken said, you get this certain level of money. You have you in a different tax bracket and stuff. You think this stuff don't affect you. They don't care. To them, like what Kanye say, you still a nigga in the coop. You got a Benz coupe, but you still a nigga in the coop at the end of the day, man. Your status of money is not gonna change what other people may perceive of you. Well, other
Yep.
racist people, I would say, other racist people are gonna perceive of you, or prejudiced people are gonna perceive as you. They're gonna still look at you as just another stupid black coon or nigger or whatever, all that stuff. They don't care what your tax bracket is. So
Right.
Cam say that. And you said it too, Kyle. You turn on TV every day. You see stuff, what people are saying about us as a people all the time. It's crazy. So, yeah, man, I was just like, dude, it just took me back to that moment. It just took me back to that moment, and it just took me like,
What
man,
about you, FIFO?
Stephen A. got these fools drinking poison.
My bad,
Go
B.
ahead.
What about you, FIFO?
Give me the question again, Kyle.
No, just your thoughts on Cam Newton's comments.
Give me the comments one more time, Kyle.
He basically said that in this country it's not about race. He said that we're beyond that as a nation.
Yeah, man. That is the ideal. That's where we should be in 2016. But unfortunately, we're not. And I don't think we're gonna be in that place until I get as old as Ken. All right, so I'm gonna kill that joke because it's not that funny anymore. But no, for real, I don't know if I'm gonna see it in my lifetime where where it's not gonna be about color, man. Because I'll put it to you like this: at my job, I deal with a lot of people, and sometimes I deal with a lot of old white people. And when I look at them, I'm like, when you were my age, I wonder the stuff that you were doing to people that look like me. But now here I am taking your money and providing you service. And now we're supposed to be equal, but I know somewhere deep down inside of you, you feel some type of way about me right now. And even though you may be cordial, even though you may, you know what I'm saying, like make the transaction great, I know somewhere deep down you feel some type of way about people like me. And that's mentally that's hard to get over at times. You know what I'm saying? When I think about it, when I'm sitting there and I just look at them and I'm like, wow. So for Cam to say, you know, man, it's not over it, man. We're not over it. Not when you see all of this stuff happening still. Not like we're not over it, man. We're not over it, and we gotta. It's just one of those things, man. This whole racial thing, people are gonna look at you for how you look, how you know the perception and all of that, and the way that they look at Cam. You know, I think the comments he said last year were 100% right. Like, you ain't never seen no guy like this. You know what I'm saying? So it
Right.
is scary for people. I think that a lot of people that are not melanated, they are scared by somebody that is physically intimidating, and on top of that is smart, and on top of that is better at what you can do. You know what I'm saying? I think that is scary and intimidating for a lot of people that are not melanated. And, you know, Cam just has to accept that, man. I don't think that it's an issue that you could just kind of sweep under the rug. Oh, you know, everything. Nah, man. Nah, I think you got to tackle it full-fledged, full forward, and it is what it is, man. Just, I don't know, man. Just stop trying to pacify the situation. Just go full-fledged head on.
Right. I think that's a good point. And I mentioned in the chat room, Cam Newton has an infant son. And his son, I mean, I'm pretty sure, just like any other father, he would want his son to grow up in a world that does not see him for his color. But if he believes what he said in that article, he's not living in the world that we live in. And his son is probably going to grow up in the same world that we live in. And, you know, and hopefully when he sits his son down at some point in time in his life and has these talks with him, he's not feeding him the BS that he put in that article. So, you know, and again, I can understand him not wanting to get into it, particularly if the interview wasn't going well. But if that's the case, I mean, you're a veteran. No comment. No comment cures. Would he have received backlash from a no comment? If the no comment makes it to the article, at this point, we don't know that it would have or wouldn't. But I would have taken that chance as opposed to saying what he said.
Yeah, because
We got a couple of one gotta goes. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kim.
Oh, wait, yeah, real quick. Yeah, I just agree, man. If I saw Cam Newton right now, this is what I'd be like. You blind, baby. You blind to the fact.
Shout out to Flavor Flav, baby. PE. Boy, you went way back on that one.
You muted, B. B, you're on mute.
Yeah, I just say you stupid. I say you went way back with that one.
Flavor Flav.
Oh, shout out to Channel Zero. She watched Channel Zero. All right, man. You know what we do. One gotta go. We're gonna wrap it up because we're a little bit over, but we started a little late, so we'll give you guys a little bit more before we get out of here. These are not mine. These were constructed by my homie Eclectic. You can follow him on Twitter at Eclectic, or follow at One Gotta Go. The number One Gotta Go. So I got one sports and I got two for the females. So the female questions is strictly aesthetic. All right. So we're gonna start with the sports. All right, B. One gotta go. Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, or Ohio State?
Ohio State.
What'd you say?
Ohio State. Come on, man. I'm
gonna got you a Spartan.
Man, you know I was gonna say Ohio State.
Right. What about you, FIFO? One gotta go. Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, or Ohio State?
I'm gonna have to say Clemson.
Shame on you. Ken, what about you, man? One got to go. Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State.
So wait. So what are we voting out again? State?
Just one got to go. Which no. Just
Which program?
these football programs. One got to go.
Oh, okay. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State,
and Oklahoma.
Man, get Alabama racist ass out of here.
Man, okay, next question, Kyle.
I knew he was going to do that.
Y'all crazy. No damn food. None whatsoever. None.
Okay, man, you too black, man. We never gonna make it, man. We never gonna cross over because of your.
Girl from Mississippi and Alabama was rough, though. Like we don't like Alabama like that.
Oh my God.
So even just a state-to-state rivalry, they can go.
Hey, Ken is stupid for real. All right, man. Ladies, and I'm going to throw you these. I got a chance to do, me and my man Eclectic, we did a podcast of the Mount Rushmore women of the 90s. Matter of fact, get a chance, check out that podcast. Pretty dope. I'm going to give you 4 from the sports arena. Ken, I'll start with you. And we're going strictly off of aesthetics as far as whether or not you think that, how dope you think they are, how fine you think they are. Serena Williams, Layla Ali, Allison Felix, or Skylar Diggins. One got to go.
I already know.
Serena Williams, Layla Ali, Allison Felix, or Skylar Diggins. Who you got, Ken?
See, he married. That's how you know he married. You gotta think too damn hard.
Well, let's assume that he's not married, or let's assume his wife's not watching.
Oh God.
Over here, you about to Google that ass up. Wait, hold on now. I gotta see these. I see these broads over here, man. I gotta see what I'm working with.
And we're going what you prefer, just looks. We're going strictly looks.
Look, man, I'll go, man. While Ken does his old man research over here. For me, I take off Serena, man.
Don't dare do that, FIFA.
See, look, you too black, man. Look, you see me and the other 3, we like the same color, man. We like the same that. Nah, because Serena bad, though. I'm not even going, you know what I'm saying? Like Serena's bad.
What was the name?
FIFA, you gonna get rid of
Felix,
Serena?
Skylar Diggins,
Layla
Ali, or Serena. One gotta go.
What do Felix? What we said? Felix. What's
Allison Felix. The one that just ran last night.
Yeah, she gotta go.
Man, you tripping. See, like, I'm an Allison Felix fan, man. Like,
me too.
She's a sneakerhead. Like, she's cool as hell. Like, she's dope. So I can't get rid of her.
All right, so you getting rid of Serena, FIFA?
Can you do your research yet, old man?
Yeah, Allison Felix. Yeah, she gotta go.
Yeah, reluctantly, and I love Allison Felix, but she got I got a thing for Layla.
Yeah, me too.
I do too.
Bad.
I do too.
And Skylar ain't going nowhere.
Hell no.
Serena ain't going nowhere either, man. Shit, yes, boy.
Hey, B.
What?
B. Ain't she the one that be pillow talking about a rapper nigga? Like, I don't know, man. I can't trust her, B. I can't trust her, dog. I can't trust her, man.
He said strictly off of looks, though. He said strictly.
I feel you. All right,
come on,
but I'm just saying, though.
I mean, okay, so Serena's staying. Ali, even just off the strength of her dad, and she,
she's so sexy.
yeah. No words need to be spoken. I Felix. First of all, she lost.
Hey,
I don't want a chick that's not gonna dive. I don't want nobody that's not gonna dive on across the finish line for me.
Man, hang up on Ken Olas, man. Hang up on him.
Yeah, stupid.
Leave it all out on the court, baby.
You retarded.
All right, so you getting rid of Allison. Okay. All right. My man FIFO. All right, last one, and we getting up out of here. Strictly looks. Rosario Dawson, Eva Mendes, Jennifer Lopez, or Selma Hayek. Which one got to go?
Ooh. Oh man, you got me with 2 Cubans on the list, bruh. So you know I can't get rid of the Cubans.
Rosario Dawson, Eva Mendes, Jennifer Lopez, or Selma Hayek?
Man, I'm taking all 4, man. I ain't taking one of them off. Damn, wait, hold on. I got to think about this. That's
Yo,
tough.
let me tell you something. He hit me with that during the podcast, man, and I couldn't. I got tongue-tied.
Look, okay, so if I have to get rid of one,
You got to get rid of one of them.
Get rid of one. I don't. I take all 4 of them. But if I have to pick one, it's gonna be Rosario Dawson. The other 3 are just too bad and too thick. Like I just can't.
What about you, B? Rosario Dawson, Eva Mendes, Jennifer Lopez, or Selma Hayek?
I guess
it ain't easy.
I guess Jennifer Lopez, because she don't know how to fucking keep a man. So something ain't right there. Something ain't right there.
Oh,
I like Rosario because she got this mystique going about her. She already bad as hell, but she got this mystique about her that I love, man. So I don't, J Lo, man, she's too out there for me, man. She can't keep a man, so that's a bad sign.
J Lo in the green dress? You getting rid of her?
No, I'm talking. We talking 2016. We ain't talking about chicks in their primes now. Are we talking 2016?
Okay.
Hey, J Lo still look like she in a prime though.
I understand,
she's still
but
in
like
prime, for real.
2016. Don't forget about Rosio and he got game.
Hey, no, I feel you.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, black and brown don't crack. We look good.
Go back. J Lo got too many scars for me, man.
But J Lo. Yeah, and J-Lo whoop your ass too, B, like she did that dude in Enough.
Hey, no, hey, Kim, if forget that, J-Lo run out on you quick as soon as the shootout comes. She ain't no stand up. She left P. Diddy.
She ain't Jenny from the block, huh?
Yeah, she ain't no Jenny from the block. Please.
Oh man.
They got when Jenny.
What about you,
got
Kim?
real, she ran.
Eva Mendes gotta go.
What?
I know, man. I know. Look, I'm with B with Rosario. It's something about like her face is shaped.
Her nostrils are uneven. Sorry to spoil it for you.
What?
Hey, I don't
look at her nostrils.
I never noticed. She's probably 36 years old. I've never seen her nostrils.
I am not looking at her damn nostrils. That is the last thing I'm looking at is her damn nostrils.
I'm just saying, it throws me off every time I actually look at it.
She can bring her uneven nostril ass over here.
Yeah, that was
bring her uneven nostril ass over here now. I don't give a damn.
I want to apologize to everybody because
talking about some uneven nostrils. Hey, Romeo, baby, come over here with your uneven nostrils. Be my woman any day.
Oh my God. Hey, I want to apologize everybody because on the podcast I got rid of Selma Hayek. And looking back on it now,
shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, I know he gave me hell about it too. I'll probably get rid of J-Lo right now. But yeah, so if you get a chance, check out the podcast, man. We had a good time. 90s Rushmore women of the 90s. So that was a lot of fun. So and for anybody watching, we rarely talk about women on this show, we're not trying to objectify women. We're just having some fun. We keep it serious. We keep it funny as well. Y'all got anything else, man? Because I can't get past this nostril thing. Oh man, this has been a crazy show.
No, I got nothing.
Y'all got anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Whew. Goddamn nostril.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Hey Ken, somebody in the chat room said that when you started talking about Cam, that's why you were dressed up because you came here to preach.
Oh, that's a good one.
I hate y'all, man.
Hey, I tell y'all, Ken got a calling, man. We gonna wake up like 10 years from now. Ken gonna be a reverend for real. You already know it's in the blood.
It
like,
really is.
Remember that dude from Dead End Hip Hop?
They've been saying that
talking
for
about
years. Like you joking slightly, but they've been saying that for years, man. I used to date a chick who sat up. Never mind, let's get it. But yeah, they've been saying that for years. But my grandfather was a preacher, and they spoke that on me, dog. So
I remember you telling us that.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see.
Man, that's funny. That's funny. So that's going to do it for this week. Next week, ain't no telling what we're going to be talking about, but we'll be right back here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, we thank you guys for checking us out. The place where sports opinions collide. For Ken, for B, for FIFO, I'm your host, 12 Kyle. We'll holler at you next week. Peace.
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 Little boat.